blur, wear the burden, observe with the unspoken discernment. Halos hidden in hoodies, the holy rehearsing a verdict beneath every sermon. Silence louder than sirens, they study your cycles with surgical purpose. Every diversion's a version of judgment emerging whenever you surface. Eyes in the alley, the attic, the avenue, the ash in the wind that remembers your name. None of them panic, they patiently pattern the path that you carved into shame. Footsteps and heavily footprints are falling farther than flesh can explain. You thought it was random coincidence, no, it's a covenant tightening chains. Beneath every billboard of witnesses watching the righteous, don't blink when you glance. Invisible infantry circling sinners that stumble in swagger, convinced it's just chance. Every profanity fractured the atmosphere, echoing back like a spiritual lance. Mercy was offered repeatedly, now a refusal keeps feeding in advance. The widow that smiled, the child that you slighted, the stranger ignored in the rain. Pieces of evidence etched in eternity, nothing is buried or lost in the grain. You keep feeling shoulders behind you, but turn and there's nobody standing in frame. Maybe the absence is louder because they're surrounding your soul, all of the same. Candles are flickering, shadows are shivering, every confession is weighing in scale. Rooms that were empty feel crowded with quiet as righteous intentions prevail. Walls are remembering whispers you bury beneath all the liquor in ale. Truth is the hunter with no infinite patience. It never forgets where you failed. Now every angel is painted in marble or floating with feathers of ivory white. Somewhere exhaustion they carry the scars from refusing the bargain with darkness at night. You hear the breathing and pauses between every heartbeat that pounds out of fright. Conscience is sharpening louder because what was hidden is walking to the light. Clock hands are carving prophetic reminders. Each second's a sense that you owe. Dust on the window still dances like spirits assembling wherever you go. Nothing escapes the ominous horizon. The seeds that you scatter will grow. Harvest is patience, but once it arrives, even mountains are forced to bow low. They never chase vengeance, they carry conviction and discipline. Step through the flame, measured and merciful still. They're dangerous only because they remember his name. Every concealed contradiction collapses into eternity, enters the frame. You weren't being hunted by monsters at all. It was righteousness calling out to your name. Millions of eyes, I feel them all around. Silent like the sky, but never look down. Every step I high gets written in the clouds. Even know the truth before I speak out. No shadows left to run, no darkness left to claim. Every breath reflected back inside an endless flame. If you feel the silence breathing, don't mistake the sound. It ain't your paranoia, heaven's looking at you now. It ain't your paranoia, heaven's looking at you now. It ain't your paranoia, heaven's looking at you now. Every mirror's a messenger, every reflection correcting the mess that you made. Windows become like a million awakening eyes, refusing to look away. Breath getting shorter, the corners are closing, the silence is learning your pace. Nothing is touching you physically, everything spiritually now is filling the space. Streetlights are blooming like pillars of fire, they follow wherever you flee. Names that you buried are carried by whispers that drift through the limbs of the tree. Ashes of arrogance scatter like insects abandoning kingdoms with ease. Even the wind sound like scriptures unfolding with pages that rustle and breathe. Run through the rain, but the raindrops are brighter than diamonds that burn through the sky. Fall to your knees, every heartbeat's a hammer resounding beneath open skies. Cry, Lord have mercy, the echo returns like a choir of thunder replies. Every excuse that you nurtured for years disappear in the blink of his eyes. Hands to your face, but the light passes through them, unveiling the soul that you hid. Nothing remaining except every choice in the harvest those choices have did. Crowns of illusion are crumbling quietly, leaving no kingdom to build. Every ambition that stood against heaven dissolves like frost on the hill. They came but brilliance no language could measure, no mortal could look at and stand. Morning condensed into oceans of glory, unfolding like infinite hands. Fear turned to trembling and trembling to stillness as time itself slipped from command. Everything earthly grew weightless to instant eternity's light touched over the land. Forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. Voices barely breaking, forgive me. I floated like dust in a cathedral at dawn. Mercy and justice together were shining where every deception was gone. Body like vapor, the panic abandoned the place it had desperately clung. Drawn to radiance, silent forever. The judgment of heaven had come. 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 Had come, had come. Lord, if these are the final shadows before your dawn, let your mercy outrun our rebellion. When every secret stands uncovered before your throne, let the blood of redemption speak louder than our guilt. And when judgment opens the heavens, let us not only behold your justice, but be embraced by your everlasting love. Millions of eyes, I feel them all around. Silent like the sky, but never look down. Every step I high gets written in the clouds. Even know the truth before I speak out. No shadows left to run, no darkness left to claim. Every breath reflected back inside an endless flame. If you feel the silence breathing, don't mistake the sound. It ain't your paranoia, heaven's looking at you now. It ain't your paranoia, heaven's looking at you now. It ain't your paranoia, heaven's looking at you now.